Welcome to Before the Dust Settles, a live Westworld after show with your host Justin Thomas.
And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Can we get audio mic checks here? 1 2 1 2. Before the Dust Settles, Westworld Season 4, Episode 3. Axel, I'll go to you for the name. And I'm here with my two co-hosts, Axel Foley. He likes to be called Billy. So what's going on, Axel? I'm going to keep that joke going. And Heidi, Costume Co.
Hi, everyone.
All right. And then we'll go through our guests.
Hello.
What's the name of the episode, Axel?
It's called Années Folles.
And that's what you get for 12 years of French, people. See, it all pays off. All right. So we got Heidi, our other co-host right here. If you want to introduce yourself, then I'm going to go to AU, and then Tim. You guys go ahead, our special guests, and introduce yourselves.
Okay, I'm first.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Hi, everyone. I'm Heidi from Costume Co. I'm really delighted to be here. I think this is our third week, and I have a channel called Costume Co. And I do everything about costumes from movie and TV. And I think the title does it mean Year of the Fool? Do we get the translation on it?
I believe it refers to the 1920s era in France.
Yeah.
Crazy years.
Crazy years.
The
Okay.
in-between years, yeah.
I wasn't completely
the
off
gay
base
20s.
there. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Axel, go ahead.
Oh, no, that's it. I was just going to say the crazy years. And I think, to me, that refers probably to what's going on with Bernard, but we shall see.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that this is a time in between wars, so it fits for the 20s, after World War I, before World War II. Let's go to AU Pack Mule. John, pleasure to have you back.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for being here, and hello and welcome for all of you that are going to be watching later on. Thanks for joining us. Should be an excellent discussion about another weird Westworld show.
It should be, but it won't. No, I'm joking. And we are here with a first-time guest, a buddy of mine, Tim Fitzwater. Tim, say hi to everybody. Introduce yourself. Tim,
thanks for having me on the show.
No problem, man. Looking forward for that fresh blood, you know. All right, so I really enjoyed this episode. I did, for context, I missed about 10 minutes of it. A little bit of an emergency here, but I got the gist of it. I loved being back in the park. Hey, what is old is new again. We thrive for that, that slight bit of change. We want something new, but we want it to resemble something that we're, familiar with. And I loved it. So I think that we probably will start at the beginning with Bernard finally making Jeffrey Wright making his debut, right? He has not been officially in any episodes. Correct?
That's correct.
All right, so we saw him. His dust has settled. Stubbs is he's a patient fella. And
was Stubbs in the room the whole time, by the way? Was he hanging out there for years and years and years? You just come in and check in him once in a while.
Yeah, he was just hanging out.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it seems like he's very subservient. You know what I mean? Like he does, what you tell him to do. I guess. I don't know. I mean, like I guess maybe there's a story like that they could do like in a comic, like Stubbs, like millennia or whatever it's been. Like hanging out there. Maybe he looked out the window once or twice. It's thrilling stuff.
Well, the car was dirty too. It hadn't been driven.
Well, he wasn't told. Yeah, he wasn't told that he could drive the car. He's not going to go around just doing stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, it doesn't seem like it went anywhere.
I'm surprised it started.
Yeah, good point. So we have, I'm going to go to Axel first, then we'll go AU, Tim, Heidi. We'll keep that rotation if we can remember it. So we have a little bit of a Neo situation. It's like he learned Kung Fu. We have some premonition. It seems like he has foresight, right, guys? Like we see Bernard in the Sublime talking to Akicheta, and we have a interesting overarching theme that's, discussed here, and that is what is real, right? He says that every time he's doing the Doctor Strange, like every scenario, I die, right? And Akicheta says you can stay here and not have any of that. So it's like this choice, right? But this isn't, he doesn't consider that to be real. That's like, I think that's fascinating. He chooses to go because there is stakes. There's skin in the game, like he's going to go and do it because sitting there in that bliss, the Sublime isn't, I don't know. It ain't all it's cut out to be. Axel, I forgot the order already.
Yeah, man, it was really interesting. Yeah, we were talking a little bit before we started. It seems like Bernard kind of got an upgrade while he was there, and we had spoken previously about Maeve's initial meditative stance where she was kind of going through all these different memories, but then I was saying, hey, maybe that's the future. Well, look, it turns out that it kind of came true in this sense, which is he's basically his own Rehoboam, right? Like he can walk around, he knows what people are going to say, they've gone through so many permutations. I think that that's super fascinating, and he seems like you all were saying too. Like he last season he had to do that clicker to kind of be crazy Bernard. Yeah. It seems like he's achieved a balance.
Bluetooth status.
Yeah, he's achieved a balance and an upgrade where now he can just kind of really control himself fully. I wonder if we're going to see him be able to control stuff like Maeve with his mind. But my main question is, and I like to see what everyone else has to say, is how long was he there? When is Bernard?
Is my audio better? I know it was loud.
Yes, it sounds much better now, buddy.
It could be turned up a bit, though.
Yeah, actually, I agree. A little turned up a little bit would be okay.
All right. When I'm doing that and I'm testing it, I will say it's interesting because we did see Maeve's voice commands not work on the
you sound good, Justin.
The politician. So I think that we're seeing that, these effects. Go ahead, AU.
Yeah.
So if we're thinking the same timeline as the rest of the show, it's 8 years. But if you look at the condition of the motel that they're in, it looks like it's been about 20 years. So there's no telling. The other thing is if you look at the vehicles at the diner, not including his Dodge Coronet, those are much older. So I don't know. That's a very confusing point. The dust, just accumulation of dust is tremendous. So that actually could be a year. I mean, so I don't know if that's a giveaway.
I think it's a post-apocalyptic feel. It's like Road Warriors, right? It's a Mad Max.
Agreed. It's like Fallout.
Yeah. I like it.
I think it's important to remember Brett brought this up in our group, and it was a great thing. I'll do my jacked holding it up to the thing, but it's the Rehoboam prediction when he initially got it, and it was mass casualty event 6 to 10 years, mass casualty event 12 to 16 years, population collapse 23 years, end of human civilization 50 to 125 years. So I think it's awesome that Brett remembered this, and then most of this episode was about Bernard saying, like, he sees the city on fire, like, we're pretty much fucked no matter what happens. But then again, he also said things are going according to plan. So that's the Rehoboam plan, I guess.
We were talking before about Bernard and his tendency to go back and try to save civilization, and I think that's Ford's narrative for him. So
I love that.
That's something to keep in mind.
And they did allow me to. Sorry, Tim. They did allow me to actually screen record. So sorry for the on the fly. all puns intended.
On the fly.
Yeah, it worked out. No, sorry for that. But yeah, okay, go ahead, guys.
So they said that they need help right now, right? So I think he's in current times with Caleb and Maeve, because they're having issues right now, like big time issues. Things are going bad, so he's trying to stop that. To help the resistance or whoever the desert people were, stop all that was going on. So maybe it's current times. He didn't go back. He's where he should be in current times. Living out his life.
I agree.
He woke up. He woke up from his sleep or unconsciousness or whatever you call it, and he's there at current times to stop all the flies or whatever.
Well, they gave us a time stamp. They said how long. Akacheta did. They gave us. He says it.
Well, did he? Because I thought he just said a day here is a millennium out there.
Yeah.
That's all he said. And he didn't even seem to last a whole day there. He was there for like 5 minutes.
Okay, but we saw him there for 5 minutes. That's all we were
True.
given.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Someone in the chat, Kay, says Bernard is about 6 years after Jesse's story because they're extrapolating that that's Caleb's daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually.
It would be more than 6 years. She looks old. She looks in her early 20s to me.
Exactly. Yeah. So it has been probably like 20 years that he was sitting in that hotel.
It would be 20 to 25 years, which would
Yeah.
bring us to the after 2 mass casualty events had occurred. And those mass casualty events could be the furthering of Chaloris's plan, which we saw at the end of the episode seems to be going well. They got what they wanted, which is Caleb, right? So I think that's an interesting point too. She obviously played such a big role in the episode. I could really see that being his daughter.
Actually, I wanted to say something about what John said about the cars. And it kind of made me think that it might have, although they did show that sort of high powered vehicle arrive, but it made me think maybe like because a lot of new cars are done with computers and that type of thing, and they had to go back to the old vehicles.
Good point. Yep.
Perhaps. John, what do you think about that?
Yes, great.
An anti-robot, an anti-bot, right?
Yeah, kind of like, in a zombie apocalypse, a lot of times you wouldn't be able to rely on modern technology. You have to go back to the older technology. But I did notice that right away. I was like, what's with all the old cars? Although I did notice that Maeve was driving an old car as well in episode 1. So I don't know what that's all about.
Well, there'd be a stigma about artificial intelligence in general. We've already seen graffiti and hate art, right?
Anti-tech stuff. Yeah.
Right. It's like, screw you. I'm not charging
Again,
you,
I think we
Lexus.
talked about this when we talked about Dune, like they had the Luddites or whatever, they kind of went against the technology and kind of the pendulum swung, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Mad
good.
Max feel to it.
Yeah. I think a lot of people in the chat are agreeing that they think that it's what's his daughter's name? Frankie or
Vanessa?
Jesse?
Yeah, Vanessa says Frankie, the actress, is 27, so 20 years.
Yeah. Well, about that, we don't know. I mean, just like you never know how old she's supposed to be, but that does make sense. I like that too. I think that's cool. And then Kay says again that maybe we're dealing with 3 storylines. That Christina is also a different time, and now I totally buy that.
Yeah, that's been my thesis the whole time, is that we're dealing with I think that's the simulation, or she's put into a world, so she's experiencing a variation of what we saw. It's not exactly obviously what we saw, so there's questions there, but I think it's interesting. I mean, it's a little he's got the foresight, he's got the premonition, all that, and he's able to I don't know, see things before they're coming, and he's using what he's learned in the Sublime. That's all cool and good. Let's go over to the park, though. Okay, and we do see the world, and this is a picture I have on the screen right now of those rapscallions.
I gotta look at this.
What they did, they set fires, guys. I knew it. I knew
They
when
set
they had
fire to the world.
I was like, damn it, I hope they don't go set fires. And that's exactly what it looks like they did.
Why is it that in the future, whenever things go bad, people are always setting shit on fire? It's like, can we just just chill out? Like maybe everything goes bad and we just all watch like old movies on a DVD player or something. Like, why do we always have to riot? Like chill out.
I think you need to define.
Yeah, I'm watching The
revolution
Leftovers,
again.
and that's what they do. They set everything on fire.
Well, because that's the first thing you do when shit goes bad. I
You set shit on fire.
I missed 10 episodes or 10 minutes of the episode. I set the basement on fire. I was like, I didn't know what else to do. I was like, got to solve this problem with fire.
Well, it helped evaporate all the water.
Yep. John says it was very Fight Club. It was very Fight Club.
Oh, it is.
Totally.
Oh man, what a great movie.
Yeah.
It's too bad that movie has become like kind of I don't know. I think people have taken it over in a wrong way.
What are you trying to? Oh, yeah. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Like repurposed for a different. It's just like the red pill, blue pill shit. It's like it couldn't be farther from that.
Yeah.
I have to say though, Axel, during that scene where Bernard is sitting in the Sublime with Akacheta, am I saying that right? Akacheta?
We'll find out in the comments.
Who Alicia said, by the way, is dressed very finely in that.
Yeah.
And it did feel like a red pill, red pill, blue pill moment.
Yeah,
there.
like it was very Matrixy.
He
It was very.
He was
Matrix.
he was welcome.
It was Neo.
And don't forget, in the Matrix, he calls it the Sublime.
Oh, does he really? That's interesting.
Yes.
See, I forgot that.
Don't
He
forget
says the
that I
Sublime.
have Sublime tattooed on my arm as
Mm-hmm.
well. Don't remember?
Oh,
that.
do you really?
Yeah, it's
It's the band though.
Yeah, but it's the same. It's in. Hey,
He's been preparing
shut
this
up.
for years.
yeah. No. Okay. So let's. I do want to jump into the park because I honestly, guys. First off, we got things I can play on the piano. We got some Billie Eilish played bad. Whatever it's called. We had Metallica, Enter the Sandman, which I already looked up.
Yeah, what's
right.
up? Metallica, Stranger
Enter the
Things,
Sand-
this,
Oh my God. Enter the
They're having a
Sandman.
good time.
That's going to take up a whole week of my time trying to learn that one. That's a pretty crazy one.
It was
I
good.
love
I liked
that
it.
that was so fun the way they recreated the thing again. What is that the third or fourth time that they've done it in a different? No, it's the fourth time. It's the fourth time they did it. Westworld,
Yeah. Although they did
Samurai
a good job
World.
with they did it like a Bonnie and Clyde. Did you
Yeah, it
notice
was
that?
great.
Which I thought was great, but it's still and they're robbing the bank. They're robbing the safe from instead of
Everything was the same. It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
That's the
It was.
sheriff's
Stopped
car instead of the sheriff's horse.
Yes.
Yeah, they pulled the chain out.
It's like there's no. I guess their attitude was, why bother redoing it? It doesn't matter.
You know, they owe money to what's his name. He's probably sitting somewhere going like, I need residuals for this. What was the guy's name? The
Lee
guy who
Sizemore?
wrote it all? See, Sizemore,
Sizemore.
yeah. Remember that old line when Justin, you said it last week, that they're always repurposing the stories. They reuse them again and again.
Yeah, well, and Sizemore is smart enough to know there's something bigger going on, but not smart enough to know what that is. So, I love him. I love when Hector doesn't get his speech. But I love the whole look, Heidi. I think that you got a video right here with these 1920 flapper dresses.
I was going to say
these
that.
burgundies, hey, I'm learning from editing for you about these colors. These are very accurate to the time, Heidi, I'll tell you. I believe
But
they
also,
are.
but Maeve was in her colors, right? She was in
Burgundy.
her colors.
Yeah.
And then the new madam, I don't know if you would be a madam in the 1920s, was in the colors. And then you saw the what's her penny feather? Clementine in those colors.
Yep.
By the way, I thought that actress was like stunning. Like I was surprised. And also back to the sexism thing, like, she's sitting at a table, he's sitting at a table with a woman, and then she comes over and I'm like, it's just that whole thing's sort of weird to me.
Well, hey, listen, it's a well, this is my channel. It's a whorehouse.
Wait,
okay?
what do you-
So, okay,
Wait,
nothing's
well,
weird.
Heidi-
It's just more expensive.
What do you mean, Heidi? Do you mean that it was reminiscent of when the woman propositioned Caleb on the train? Is that what you're making reference to?
No, yeah, exactly. Or the host, right, when he arrived.
Yes,
propositioned
I agree
him,
with
Maeve
you
was
there.
And then again,
Yes,
he's sitting at a table with a woman who could easily be his wife. It's not, or a partner, or what have you, because a lot of partners go there. And it is sort of matriarchal, the park, I find, though, like that, like, why didn't a male prostitute come over and proposition Maeve?
Because
That's
we're
just
tired.
mine.
We're not as, sometimes
I don't
we
know.
get tired, Heidi.
A male, I don't even know, a gigolo? I don't even know.
What do you
people.
think? Do you think? I think when I see that, I say to myself, because this show has dealt with those issues, it knows what it's doing.
Gender roles.
And I say,
yeah,
is it purposeful that to highlight a relationship between Maeve and Caleb, or is it also a way of further, and Justin, you might pick up on this as like a writing cue, that you always elevate the hero. He's desired. He's always desired. The attention seems to always fall on Caleb.
And we need to learn. Okay, so there's two things here on 2 points. You're right. Okay, so the first point is that's what happens with Teddy. Okay, in the Mariposa, he gets propositioned. So they need to mirror what happens in these story threads to give the loop, narrative validity. Also, you're right to an extent on not necessarily that he needs to be. That you're right. They do want to portray him in a nice light, but also we know a lot about Maeve, right? We don't know as much about Caleb. To know somebody is chivalrous, right? They have to be put in a situation. To know somebody is a liar.
Oh, that's a good point too.
Right? Yeah. No, but it's pretty much exactly what you said. Yeah, like they need to explore his character. These are ways to do it. So, I mean,
and to the defense of the writing and the story, it could be like it's like a hive mind. I'm assuming, right? Like I'm assuming the hosts are part of this hive mind that is Chaloris or what have you. I mean. They wanted to get him there. They got him there. They lured him, kind of thing.
Yeah. He was the target as well. So he was the target. Focus. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you could argue it that way. That are like, oh, go over and But I just sort of think it's sort of weird that it's supposed to be. It doesn't feel very egalitarian considering Maeve.
Yeah.
Is there as a guest as well and is sitting with him as opposed to before where Teddy was by himself, like he wasn't, with a partner or anything like that.
Well, as Kay says in the chat, Maeve is a hero too, and I totally agree with that. Mm-hmm. I just think in this instance there did seem to be a focus on him, and in the end we see they captured him.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of feel like they were testing him. Maybe they were. Do you get that same feeling, AU?
I think they were just trying to mimic the first episode.
Okay.
Yeah, and also they're establishing they
totally
Maeve knows what's going on. That's established. She is the hero, right? Like she knows. She says, "I delivered it better. I had a better delivery." So it's not like people coming up to her. It's just exactly what AU said. What we said before. Yeah, it's just you don't waste time in storytelling. You don't like rehash. We do know. Like look.
They're already doing that enough as it is, right?
Hey. But you want to know what? Let's cap it up and let's go to Tim on this because but before the dust settle is going to be on the forefront of the movement of when you go to a whorehouse, okay?
Yes.
That you as a female,
I'm going to write a brief about it.
Yeah, I'm pissed now that you're pissed. I'm emotional because you're emotional. I'm channeling that.
I'm just trying to tell you from like a woman. Like, I mean, I already thought the park was sort of, definitely geared towards men.
Oh, it's skeezy, yeah.
But I just thought like it's just sort of strange. Like they arrive, he's with Maeve, and she propositions him, and then again in the bar.
Yep.
Meanwhile, he's sitting with a woman. So it just seemed really, really strange to me. That's all. But I get where you're saying with the beats and everything.
I think it's true that Westworld is. In general, and Kay says it caters towards male sexual fantasies. That's what we've seen. There's no doubt about that. That's absolutely correct.
Yeah,
I think the show is obvious about that.
Yeah.
Did they have male prostitutes in the 20s? Was that a thing? Or is
I think they've always had. Hey, man.
My great uncle.
How much money you got?
I don't really know.
It was common.
To be honest with you,
you might be able to hire me.
All the
Thomases.
And it was.
I don't really.
Full of women, right? Not men. So.
Tim, I'm embarrassed to tell you that I'm not really sure.
The ones that
yes,
Tim,
of
actually,
course.
though, Tim does have a point because they're playing.
Although
to
I have
a period.
been to some Chippendales knockoffs, so that's my.
Well,
that's my
yes, there were definitely there was always people. Sex has always been sold by both men and women and bought.
Okay.
Yes, throughout history.
But I like what Tim's saying here.
All
because
cultures.
What Tim is bringing up is that it would have been more in the shadows, right? Because it wasn't.
That's true.
Yeah. So like this is on Main Street. This hooker house is on Main Street,
and it caters towards that. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
but we're gonna fix them. We're gonna fix the whorehouses, not by getting rid of them. By just making them
like
more
I told you, I'm going to write a brief and
inclusive.
I'll post it on Twitter and
everyone.
I'll tag all of you
I'm gonna
on it.
go and I'm gonna do the data. I'm gonna do the analysis. I'm gonna see what happens when I go to.
If
these
you guys
places.
weren't here for me to complain to it would have to be Jack, but unfortunately he's away, so he's not. able
We-
to hear my complaints.
We agree.
Thanks so much,
Hey, can I
guys.
ask?
appreciate your support.
Speaking of the park stuff, did anyone pick up that when they were in the inside that it was another park, that it was the Westworld Massacre Park,
Right. Yeah.
before
the
it happened?
Easter egg. That girl said she was trying to do the Easter egg, and then you see
No,
her
but
in there.
before that happened, did anyone pick up on that or
Oh, no,
think?
not at all.
Yes, I did. No, I
Okay.
did not,
You
but
did?
No, they
but-
totally got me.
Yeah.
I did
No,
not.
no, they got me too.
They totally got. Even when it started happening, when the woman came in, I thought, "What the hell? She's taking this too far."
Right? Well, Maeve says she couldn't control anything in there. It's being
Yeah.
controlled from somewhere else, and then
I,
everything popped off.
I have one thing to ask though. When the new madam, the one that's also like a pretty good knockoff of Maeve, right? When she says, "In our world, you can do whatever the fuck you want," did you guys kind of go, "How would they know that?" Like, I'm sorry, how
It's
would
a
they
line.
know that she? How did they know that line? She only said it
Because
to
they-
Caleb.
But no.
They have the
No,
they have the
she's-
screenplay and everything.
Yeah, that's actually a line from the first season.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, sorry. Okay, never mind.
yeah. That's what she used to say.
Lee
Oh, you were
Sizemore-
recognizing it as from the finale of last season.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
sorry,
okay, yeah.
I forgot.
She just
Okay.
repeats herself. Yeah.
Yeah, we all do. Yeah, I do it all
Okay,
the time.
sorry.
But I
guys.
think now, but you know what? Now that line is highlighted again,
Yeah.
it puts it into a different context the end of last season, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because it makes me think, and with the stuff we found out from Bernard, and I'm kind of obsessed with that when he says like things are working the way they should. Because I had already been thinking, as AU said, about Ford's plan and the original, like his intention, that all the Chaloris stuff and the flies and all that, it's all part of it. It was all part of the Rehoboam. It was all foreseen before. And I think that's I kind of dig that concept. It takes a, what are you going to say? What do you say, Justin?
No,
it takes
no, I'm
agency
sorry.
away, or what do you think?
Well, no, but I mean, well, clearly that does, but
Yeah.
but no, but here, let me say this, and then I want to pass this to Tim. Okay, clearly it does, but there's the question of how much agency do we really have? This is kind of what that show is about. So I'm not
Yep.
shitting on it. No, absolutely not, Axel.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I hate the idea of Ford planned it all because like there's so many variables, like it gets crazy. Like I love season 1, you know what I mean? But like to this, I hate Rehoboam. I don't like Rehoboam. I don't like Rehoboam. I guess I'm gonna pick a fight here. Don't talk about Ford and Rehoboam in the same sentence. Like don't like honestly, like you're using them like they're interchangeable. Like how dare you? Like that's Walmart Ford. Okay?
True, but
They're
you
the
know what
best.
though? I think we might. There's one thing we should always remember about Westworld is there's so much we don't know that happened in all those years that Ford could have had more to do with Rehoboam and vice versa than we know. You know,
that
like
is weak, and you know it. Oh, but it could have
What is
possibly,
it?
technically
Ford
happened.
is an advantage of what's going on is that he studied all of the loops that they tried to get the father, I forgot his name, William's father-in-law, to go through, and all of that.
Yeah,
You know, so he
the
knew
fidelity.
human behavior. and-
Yeah.
and
They
how
definitely
to-
did take. I joke, but because
I
you know
know.
we could
I know
make
you
the argument of like
You're a joker.
maybe he opened the PF chains because we didn't see it not happen.
No.
You know what I mean? No. What do you mean no?
No.
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 That logic
No.
still stands for me as well. You didn't see. Hey, the lack of evidence isn't evidence. But blah blah blah. So we do see a lot of video game nods. Tim with the Easter eggs. If for anybody that's not familiar, I love that part of it because these loops that we see him stop to pick up the kit. She says, "Don't pick it up," and then we see the weirdo go because Dolores is made for a predator type,
Yeah,
either a wannabe white knight or just a plain old creep, but she is designed to be vulnerable. And she's like,
She was a Walmart
Oh
Dolores, though. I
yeah,
thought.
that's
Yeah. Even her outfit was kind of Walmart.
yeah.
what is
It was
that?
a little
TJ Maxx Dolores.
TJ
Not-
Maxx.
Not even.
hot topic.
Hey,
Topic Dolores.
you can get a badass fucking
Or Wyatt.
eyebrow ring there.
Right.
I noticed that Maeve did mention or Wyatt.
Yeah.
I love that Wyatt was mentioned again. The Wyatt phase. That's good to. I think that was a line that was there on very much on purpose to remind us that, because I think when we get to the Christina, whatever she is, might have to do with a pure Dolores before Wyatt was introduced in some way, maybe like the base code that I don't want to argue about the other stuff, Justin, but
What do you mean argue? You're just saying my theory. Like, you're saying my theory, like, from before. Like, yeah.
No, we
My
agree.
theory,
This
which
part
is
we
my
agree
theory,
on.
which is the theory of which
We
is
all,
mine.
everybody.
Ever seen Monty Python when they do that?
Yeah, I know.
No,
Every
no.
time I think I have a theory, I go somewhere and someone's like, I thought of that 2 days ago.
Well, but there's videotape for
They're
this one.
liars. They did not.
But Tim, what do you think about the plugs for like the Easter? I love it.
So did the other parks have Easter eggs? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Were there
because they
secret
talk
levels?
about the side quests. No, not necessarily,
Okay.
but just a video game aspect. Me and Tim
Right, yeah,
met
no.
playing Call of Duty, by the way,
Right.
which is a fantastic way to meet terrible people
Oh.
usually. But
Sitting in a
Thanks,
gaming chair.
thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's-
Tim's very good. But
So,
yeah,
I mean, it's a cool twist. It makes it more relatable to people with the games, right? You know, it's a game. It's a big game. The whole place is, but it makes
Yep.
it more like a game, I guess.
well, it was modeled after Skyrim originally, the way in which the NPCs work and how they can get glitched out if anybody's ever played that. And I think that I'm going through the footage right now, and Tim, and I think that we're gonna be able to. I think this will be fun for like the people that do the recaps, because there's a lot of footage that I think that people are going to be able to connect from the first season. Like that old guy, I can't.
Just the mazes that are in there,
Yeah.
you know, on
Yeah.
the floor of the elevator, and
Yeah.
But
They're
the people
everywhere.
too, even the
Bernard
side
finds.
characters, they're recycling. You know what I mean?
In the park, you mean?
Yeah. Like I'm trying to find it right here, but I mean, go ahead. I just think it's fun. I don't know. Like that's a fun part of this show. Like we're at this part where it's like last season was supposed to be like this, in my opinion. It was supposed to be fun. And I know I'm kind of like, being contradicting myself because they are going back to the park, but they're going back to the park from the real world. So they are in the real world and they're using the park for real world purposes, just as the humans did. So I think this is what I wanted. Like I want more of this. I love it. I love this theme. I love that they're exploring these different narratives. I love that they're exploring these different eras, and it's showing that storytelling is it's also just like time. You said, a straight line. Or
was anybody
blah, blah.
surprised how easy it was to get everybody, or to get Caleb and Maeve from the opera to the park through the train?
Yeah, they were
I was
full. They
shocked
fooled
at-
them easy. I thought Maeve should know that, right? Isn't she like connected to all the hosts and computers? And she had no idea.
They have an upgrade though. I don't think she's as powerful as she was before. Like she's having issues.
Yeah,
Right, she couldn't open the door. Had a
Yeah.
hard time open, or she did, but had a hard time with it. Right, so
That was the Jedi training.
yeah,
Do we
Yeah, and
think there's
even when
a-
she was trying to stop I think their hosts, they were sort of showing it like they were humans trying to kill themselves with the gun,
Right.
with the vibration, and she was trying to stop that and she couldn't. But then she did something at one point where she sort of quieted her mind. It looked like she closed her eyes. That's usually her like, okay, I'm going to quiet my mind
she's
moment.
an update, a program
that?
update. She's
Yeah,
a
she
program
missed-
update.
yeah, she
you
missed-
A program
better-
update,
yeah.
exactly.
Do we? Okay, so are we pushing this love narrative with Caleb and Maeve, and how do we feel about it?
I
That's-
don't think there was anything there.
I think Maeve
I
has a
think they're
thing for him.
pushing it. I think they're pushing it. I mean,
I hope
She
not.
stopped two hosts from hitting on him already, getting dressed. She stopped him. He could put his own clothes on. That situation,
That was a funny line.
and then in the bar, we won't
I
need
know.
your services. So
It's-
twice she pushed a woman away
Yeah.
from him.
yeah, let a man answer.
Kind of catty, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't, I mean, I think
Flip
I could
side.
see, I think Justin's right. And I mean, I did mention, I think that they're definitely, it's there, but I think it could also be just a reinforcing the fact that in the years that we jumped ahead 7-8 years, they had developed a very strong, like other things happened,
And
so
she
I,
might have saved his life too, right?
That's
yeah,
how I-
well, we
that's
didn't
how I'm
talk about
reading
it.
it.
The
Yeah.
lighthouse that was mentioned last time. They haven't mentioned that. They didn't mention that again. But I think that maybe it is just that too, kind of saying like, hey, there's a real history here between these two characters that frankly had zero history until about 2 minutes to go in the finale of last season.
Yeah.
So they might be trying to establish that hard in a way that's like overdoing it,
Well, what do we think about his wife that he's supposed to care about?
What do you mean?
I mean, he's married,
real?
right?
Yeah, he seems to love her. You're right. He's really in love with his wife and his kid, right?
Yeah.
They didn't get along that well.
I don't think it's a romantic. Like I think they have a really strong relationship, but I don't think it's romantic.
Then how did they
I
have
think
a kid?
it's
How
a
did they
mutual
have that kid?
respect, and he's
Alcohol.
Oh, that makes sense. Sorry.
and he's he's a human, and she actually respects him even though he's a human. I think she said even in the elevator, like, you have promise or something. What did she say?
You did good out there. Yeah,
you did good out there. Yeah. So I think she's kind of like, okay, you're not the same species. You're not the same, whatever she would consider herself, like something other. She, as a human being, he's one of the first human beings I think that she's actually respected. What other human beings has she respected?
Yeah, and that's a good point, because that's what Westworld always touches on is humanity, meaning taking away personhood and having humanity. It's not biological, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just saying that what Heidi's touching on is she does look at him as another, but she's recognizing, primal traits. She's recognizing familiar traits. She's recognizing things that so like we divide. This show is not about building walls. I see people talking about, the robots, it's like they're teaching us about humanity through the robots. It's like, no, they're teaching you that behavior, like, like whether you treat something, like you should treat anything that can feel anything with compassion, else you lose your humanity. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need, it's not like me, so it's okay to do this or that. They're breaking down. Now, whether you agree with that or not and think that it's okay to go and play Grand Theft Auto, and I want to know what, there's an argument for that. I don't think it's a very good one. But, it's there. I think that Westworld is clearly, Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan, by the way, watched the after little trailer. Man, he looks way different. I didn't even recognize him.
He does. He's grown a beard or something. It's like COVID.
Yeah, he went on Willie Nelson.
What is it? He's got COVID on his face.
Yeah,
it's COVID beard. And
COVID
weight.
beard.
He said, "I just got weird with it. I wanted to get weird with it. I've been married for a long time. It's fine." I think it's interesting.
I wanted to say. I was going to say before, Heidi, when you were talking about Maeve, we have seen her take a liking to people, though. She loved Sizemore. She loved, and the other cleanup tech, the guy who became her friend, Felix.
What happened to Felix again?
He died for them.
Oh, that's right. For Felix.
So I think that she is, I mean, to me, I've wanted Maeve to kind of take on, we were talking earlier about her being the hero. I kind of feel like she is really like the hero of this story, because even though Dolores always talks about, I see the beauty, she always ends up killing a motherfucker, where Maeve actually wants to kind of understand and talk to people.
Well, but
she has empathy and compassion.
It's funny because I just saw.
Yeah, she might still kill him, but at least she talked to him.
I just saw the Black Adam trailer, and in that he says, someone says, "Heroes don't kill people," and he goes, "I do."
Okay, but you can kill people.
Welcome to America.
Don't kill them because they're different. Kill them because you don't like them, like for like legit reasons. There's so many other better reasons. You don't need to be like, "Oh, they're different than me. I'll kill them." No. If they're a dick or they're doing this, like, those are reasonable motivations, Like, Maeve will kill when she has to, right? All jokes aside, but she's not killing because they're human.
Yeah,
she's not
I agree. I agree, though, with your assessment that Maeve is the hero of the story. I agree with that.
Well, I think that she's the closest to the eyes because she embraced her daughter as a host, and she embraces humans as well. So, like I'm talking about breaking down walls, not building them to show some like experiment, some social experiment. No, they're breaking down, and Maeve's a perfect example. And then I guess we've got what do we think about Walmart Hector here? I did not care for him.
They're all Walmarts.
Yeah, I know, but
except for Clementine, she was pretty gorgeous.
Yeah, but
Clementine was pretty stunning.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, John Wambacher says Maeve and Caleb totally boned after the lighthouse incident.
Hey, but
you're at a lighthouse.
That makes sense now, right? That makes sense.
Maybe that's what it is.
The lighthouse? Oh, I get it now. Yep.
Those were built in the 18th century for sex primarily.
He's like, Caleb, look at Maeve, look at my lighthouse.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, I'm your beacon."
Your beacon.
Yeah, and she's like, "Where'd you go?" He's like, "I'm sorry." Sorry about that. Anyways, though, but look at this guy. This guy, like, this is not Hector. This is not
No.
And who is the really awesome actress from season 1 who is like Hector's accomplice?
Oh, she's like Czech Republic woman.
Yeah, she was really great.
Yeah.
So the girl who plays Bonnie is supposed to be her as well, right? 'Cause she had the
Armistice.
white hair. Armistice.
Oh,
yes.
that was her.
No, it wasn't.
Was
It wasn't
Really?
Armistice? I didn't see her face close enough.
No, I
She's
think
a
it was
little
a
different.
Oh,
it was
a Walmart.
It was another
Armistice.
TJ Maxx special?
Stop thinking all
Right.
Eastern Europeans look like Axel.
Oh, man. They bought those hosts with Cole's cash.
But this guy, you never would think that he was Hector. Look at this guy. I got him on screen. Look at him.
How do you cast that when you're like, okay, what we're looking for is a bunch of people who are immediately and obviously not as attractive as the previous people on purpose?
Yeah, it's like you got Brad Pitt and Troy. You need to recast it. Maybe you go Brad Cooper. Maybe, I mean, you go, okay, it's not going to be the same, but like you get that like the other person is still appealing.
Yes.
And now I'm showing my true colors. Ooh, Bradley Cooper over here watching.
I really thought that was Armistice real quick. I got to check that out.
Yeah,
I was
Look
at
again.
first I looked and I'm like, no, and we're because she's dead, isn't she?
Well, who the hell knows in the show? But yeah,
They could resurrect her, though.
Rebuild her.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
they
think
could have. Yeah.
that's true.
We want to rebuild her, but we don't want to spend a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But so this guy, yeah, they got him for like discount on Amazon for like an off-prime seller that you don't get free shipping with.
Well,
Like,
it's almost Prime Day.
It is. They
It
keep
is.
telling me I'm gonna get some stuff. But this guy sucks. Come on. Who looks at him and says that this is the guy from 300? That this is. I mean, this dude looks terrible. I think I'm
There
handsomer than
wasn't
this
one
guy.
that,
That's a low
that would
bar.
pass for a standard, you know.
So you
It's
think
a-
they didn't go for it, AU? That's what you're saying
No.
because they couldn't achieve it.
Wasn't the goal. The goal was
I agree. I think they did it deliberately. I
show
believe.
the loops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's an interesting point, right? The overall, it speaks to the overall like quality of or what experience they're going for, because we saw so much of that in Westworld, right? Sizemore and all of them talking about what we want to do for the guests and blah, blah, blah. Here, well, they're just trying to fly these motherfuckers. We still haven't really seen that,
Yeah.
but it seems like that's what they are trying to do.
This is the Jon Snow spinoff. This is the.
I can't wait for that, man. I'm
Oh,
so
I bet you
excited.
can.
I'm
I
Oh
kinda
my God,
excited
no!
about
It's
that
gonna be
too.
so bad.
I
It
don't
will
wanna
be
get
so
into
No,
bad.
it's going to be awesome.
Okay,
No,
I will
it's
end this stream
terrible.
right now. I will turn this stream
Poor
around.
guys will be pouting in the corner.
I can't wait. I can't
get
wait.
my
I
I
love
swear
it.
I will slap you with my ring finger. Axel.
It'll have snow in it. I like everything with snow.
Oh, where?
Well, I like snow.
80s,
Yeah.
1980s, look into his past. Cleveland, 1987, look into it. He won't talk about it, but it happened. Haha, people are going to look into that. They think he did something now. But
Did I-
anyways. go
Did
ahead.
anyone notice how William was like invincible at the end?
I think there were
You got-
multiple versions of him, right? That was a whole nother host that came out.
Exactly.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I didn't,
interesting.
I didn't
Yes.
see that. I seen him
Yeah.
get shot, and he's like, "You think it's that easy to kill me, or whatever, or you're not fighting a normal me, or whatever,
No.
whatever he said."
I'm not a man
like,
like you've
holy
seen
shit,
before.
he's
He was totally clean, no injuries, nothing. It was a new host. I think
Okay,
that's
So
an
Army
interesting.
Williams.
Yeah. See, that's interesting though, because I'm glad you mentioned that, because I have been formulating the idea, the theory that if Chaloris was using the same host and gave him William's face and all that, he kept on talking about it. He kept on saying to everyone, "You didn't go to my wife's funeral. You weren't." Would he start getting too emotional, just like what happened to her? So maybe to combat that issue, she kind of just creates like base program Williams and sends them out. You know what I mean? Like they don't achieve consciousness.
I sent
That's how they got
flowers,
Clementine,
by
right?
the way.
Yeah.
Like,
That
I
was
did
kind of
s-
you,
yeah, it was
Justin. I only had enough money
$120.
for a card.
The
I didn't
flowers are
send flowers.
expensive, and you
They
barely
are.
get thanked for them. It's like, come on, I know your like loved one just died, but I also sent $120 worth of flowers.
Yeah.
I'd like a big thank
I
you.
wrote, "Dear William, I am sorry that you murdered your daughter. P.S.
Oh damn.
Hey,
Father's
better luck
cold.
on the next one.
Damn.
Better luck.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll bring her back as a host. Don't worry.
Fingers crossed. yeah. Hey,
Host Williams. Yes.
life's funny. Something. It's just something. It's just something very inappropriate.
I was gonna. It's funny though. They always put him back in his little like Man in Black suit in the park. You know, even though they're not in Westworld. They're in. I thought it would have been really fun if they put him in something 1920s. That would have been.
They should have, but I'll tell you what.
I
If I
mean,
had that outfit,
That
that's
would
what
have
I'd
been
wear.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
pants and black shirts kind of timeless, right?
But I think that-
no matter
Well,
what.
no, hold on. Let the
timeless.
Texan talk about it. Let the Texan.
Sure.
This is a true Texan. Let's hear.
Yeah,
what
there
he
you go.
Black pants and a black shirt's timeless, right? You can't,
Yeah.
a white button up or black button up is the timeless. It never goes out of style, no matter what. So in the 20s, they wore it, and that it's 2022 right now, and
He's wearing a cravat though. He's wearing he should have been in a 3-piece pinstripe, in my opinion. And he's wearing striped pants as well.
But they
not
still
black
had
pants.
solid black clothing back
Yeah,
then.
he
I mean,
doesn't
just
need
because he had to stand out from the crowd, right? He's a man in black. He's not going to wear the pinstripes like everyone else is. He's going to wear his
not a
black
peacock.
suit, right? He's
Yeah.
a badass man.
I was just throwing that out there.
I agree.
I just like to throw a wrench in everything. Honestly, Tim, I have no problem with what you said there.
Heidi, don't throw a wrench at Texas. All right, don't you dare throw a wrench at Texas.
Deep in the heart. I think it was kind of cool that they kept him in that outfit because that's what made me instantly see, oh, that's just another version of him. And it makes me think that
like a uniform.
everyone we saw was a different version of him. And that,
Makes
because
sense now.
I do think that if she did to the same thing that was done to her completely, it would fuck them up the same way it fucked her up.
Well, there's.
And that host could,
Yeah, well, here's.
could kind of get.
You're right though, Axel, because they've made an army of him. Okay, so like he has lost his individuality. He has lost his personhood. This is Darth. Man in Black. Like this is a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Like so like this is why you get the generic ones. Sorry they didn't paint the stripes on him, but I do like the that would have been cool. But he ain't adapting. He ain't playing that game.
He had that golf outfit, that crazy golf outfit.
I love that.
Hey, that was,
I know
that
you
was a
did. You guys
badass
all liked
outfit.
it. I was like, I don't know about those
And his,
shoes.
his leather hat. It's like 120 degrees outside. He's wearing a leather hat.
Hey.
Golly.
It was
Style
actually
knows
it was like
Yeah.
a coated straw hat. It was
Oh, is
like
that-
a
is that
straw
what it
hat,
was? Okay.
like a lacquered straw hat. Or
Okay,
something
I thought it was
crazy kind.
leather.
Okay.
It
does
did look
Yes.
like leather.
Does
Yeah.
it-
But
Is that
black in the
cooler?
sun, though. A white straw hat would be what you wear in the summertime, I guess.
Totally.
I'm wearing black. I'm a man in black. You know what I mean?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say though, the woman who made the the fabric for the jacket, she lives like in upstate New York. So I was just imagining her. Apparently, she wove all the fabric for the Man in Black's jacket. I bet you when she did it for season 1, she's like, okay, there's a little job there, and then they're calling her up. Listen, we have to do we're making
62 of them.
3D printing multiples of William here. Can you make us a
Right.
bunch of jackets?
She's like,
Army
what if-
Williams
yeah.
to clothe.
Yeah, she's like, how about they all wear the same thing? Like that's a nice out for her, right? Like that's what, as an editor, I might
I'm
do
just
that.
saying because she had to weave. She was hand weaving that fabric
Yeah.
for that
Oh, wow.
jacket. So she was like weaving thousands of yards of the Man in Black fabric.
Is she a masochist? What is she? Is she hate?
Yeah.
Like,
Whereas
is she-
Dolores' fabric, they did 3D print that. So that's kind of cool.
They 3D printed the fabric. I didn't know you could 3D.
They
print
did
the
3D
fabric.
like Dolores's fabric because apparently they bought it. It was a vintage fabric, and then they didn't have enough because they had to make multiples for all the the breakdown and the blood and all that. So they had to 3D print it, which I thought was so cool. Whereas the Man in Black's fabric, they wove it like on a mill, like on a loom.
I thought they just
Isn't that
went
crazy?
to like Men's Warehouse and bought a bunch of suits. Is what I thought. I mean,
You'll
I
love
didn't
it.
know
No.
she
It's
actually
this woman
created
in
the
upstate
fabric.
New York that like Ed Harris went to university with her. Apparently,
Oh, he went to
Okay.
college.
he did. He went to university.
Good for him.
Hello, he did the Truman Show. He'd have to go to school for that. Like you can't just run a
What do
TV
you mean?
show
You're
without.
citing the TV show, the job he had in the TV show as the profession he got. Okay,
Yeah, you can't run a TV show without having gone
You're
to college.
right. You cannot play an actor. Who runs. You're right. I do. Yep.
I don't know what's wrong with you, Justin. You're a little off base today.
I know. Well, I 3D printed myself, and they got rid of me immediately.
I just think it's funny that Dolores's outfit was 3D printed, and then
Well, she's like, want to know what? She just got ambitious one day, and she regretted the next. Like she was just like, I'm gonna do this old fashioned way. All these people using this new technology, this show. And then the next day, she's like, oh my god, I made a mistake. Yeah. Okay, so we finally get the trailer scene of the face opening up in a very disturbing way.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, it's not normal. I would call a doctor.
Well, actually, that
Was
kind of
a callback
reminded
to
me
the
of
original episode or original
Yeah.
season.
Yeah,
Williams
Ford's family.
Ford's son.
Yeah, who talked like in his weird robotic like Darth Vader or Anakin Darth Vader mixed voice.
So even after Maeve did her little program update when she closed her eyes and meditated or whatever to be able to open the door, she still wasn't able to sense that that Frankie was a host. So like
She seemed to at the last minute though.
Updated. Did she? I didn't catch
Yes,
that.
yeah. That's why she went running. Like, well, oh yeah.
Okay.
But you make a good point, which is that is she really upgrading herself, or are they just kind of making her think that she can do these things?
Yeah, because they can probably read her mind like she can read theirs, right?
That's what I'm thinking here.
That's a good point, Axel.
You know,
she had to put her payment information into the app store. She didn't have it.
I mean,
Right, they have her card with her. Yeah.
this is just
Forgot
like
her
what,
password.
but it was just like you said before. This whole thing was so damn easy. I mean, let's talk about what happened. They went on their first detective investigation to the senators. The wife says, "Yo, go to Westworld." Or go to the new park. They go, and then they trap him. It was pretty easy. Like it wasn't, Maeve did not really offer much resistance or help strategically here, did she? I don't know.
She
Just
went.
knew how
She
to follow the dead people. That's
She
basically all.
got
Yeah,
him.
so
She
yeah.
walked right into the. She was.
That
like,
was
"Ooh,
it. You're right.
cheese.
Good point.
Ooh, cheese.
Which was-
I want it.
And even that seemed a little bit like stagey. You know what I mean? Guys standing out in front watching them get into the truck, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was just weird. It was weird.
It was like something out of a plot of Star Wars where
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, we got this too easy." It's like,
Yes,
and then
it
there's
was.
a tracking
Yep.
device on them.
Very much
it's
so.
Quiet, almost too quiet, right? But okay, so what do we think about the flies being used to infect humans, and should we eradicate flies in the real world?
Yes.
No.
Yes,
Flies
absolutely.
are good.
I have
Okay.
a fly in my house right now.
Okay, so let's get rid of them. We got
Very
3
upset.
for it.
Jeff
Both
Goldblum
has-
says no.
I don't give a crap.
Jeff Jeff
Help
Goldblum.
me! Help
Window fly.
me!
Okay, we'll hold the vote again in 10 years.
So did y'all see the
Power
flies
move.
in the bar? Like,
Yes.
maybe
Yes,
fly
and
past
on the
table?
guy on the ground.
Yeah, there's
Yep.
one flying around somebody's face. They're sitting there just
Yes.
drinking
The
their
kids
drink
took
and-
his wallet.
I
Yeah.
don't care if they're wearing hats; they can just infect them with flies.
Yeah. But I do want to say one thing I found interesting is it had been widely theorized in the Westworld community that these flies were nanobots and that the gel, they like excrete that gel, but it seems like the gel takes them over and then they kind of bring that into the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
those are organic, those are real flies, it seems
Because
like.
guess what, Westworld community? As again, you thought the tech meant something, and you were wrong. It always happens.
it's
Stop
parasites.
freaking doing it.
It's okay.
No,
I
it's
accept
not. It's
it.
funny. Oh, I accept that they're wrong too. They're always wrong. It's funny. They're like, oh, this means this.
I'm one of them.
Never. You're
They always play the 3-card Monty with them.
always
Right.
wrong.
So it's not nanobots. It's a parasite. It's a mind controlling parasite. You know, which is
Yep.
is realistic because they have them right now. You know, in nature.
But I
already.
think it is. But I think that it is a
metaphorical.
nanobite parasite. I think it has to be,
No,
and
you're
or
walking
biologically. Hey, you know what though? It's Justin. I like what you're saying because it might point more towards that evolution thing. That it's not. It's an organic. It's like biotech, right? They've created this organic thing that can take over people like that.
And it's not organic to
yeah.
them. The host, it's not organic to them.
Yeah.
Get what I mean? That's biological
I
weapon
do.
to them. So it's
I
flipped.
do.
It's just a flip switch. You know what I mean?
That's
It's-
yep, good point.
It's simple too, like Tim's saying. Like it makes sense. It's baseline. That's what makes like these like things work because it doesn't need much explanation. Like what is that primordial ooze? Well, that's the people dying. Okay. You know what I mean? Like
It
when
kills
get-
you.
Yeah, it kills you. There you go. Done. Like when you get into the nanobots and stuff like that, then it's like, oh, so how do those work? And they're like, what?
But the businessman in the first episode didn't die from that. He cut his throat.
So
Well,
they're all killing
yeah.
themselves, right? They're all killing
No,
themselves.
the
after
gel-
They do a task. They do a task
Yeah.
and then kill themselves. Like putting a stack
Yeah.
of blocks. They were told to stack blocks by the flies or whatever is the
Yep.
flies. Tell them to stack blocks.
Great
and then
point.
Load the gun and kill themselves. Lay to the
Yep.
horse. Stab
Was
the
that
horse.
the flies or was
kill
that
himself.
the vibration or the sound from
Well,
the
don't you
tower?
think
Oh, that's
that
good.
that sound tower is communicating with the
Yeah.
gel, and that's why I mean by it's like it's
Activates
biotech, right? Like they're mixing that together.
That
I
makes
think
sense.
there's no
They
doubt
have to
about
have
that.
No,
it.
Yeah.
no,
They would
that
have
makes
to have
complete
those in the
sense, but
real
it won't
world.
happen.
Right. Caleb couldn't hear it, but Maeve
Just in the
could.
park.
Yeah.
long before they seen what was going on.
Yep. Caleb
she
could hear. Oh yeah, Maeve could hear it. You're right.
Yeah.
I like that they brought Tesla back to make us crazy electricity. They're like, hey, we need towers that are just whack jobs. Like, we need these things going on. So, but there is, because there's that, we hear it, it makes them kill themselves, but like only certain people could hear it. So I just don't think they'll ever go into depth on it. Because it doesn't benefit them to do that. You get what I mean? Like, there's too much explaining on it. So I think you're right, though. It definitely is implied.
They may now since Caleb's.
They'll probably say it's a signal to the brain. You're right. I mean, the intricacies are not as important as what it's communicating, which
Absolutely.
is the reversal of the host taking over the humans, right? And I think that makes perfect sense. Can I ask one question, Justin?
Mm-hmm.
I don't, unless someone had something else to say about the fly thing, but did you get any of the screen captures of when Bernard is in the Sublime?
Yeah, look on the screen right now.
We don't have to talk about it, but I just thought about it and I was going to forget.
Axel, would you like to look at it? Because I can. Make
Well, there's
happen.
something that looked kind of like the Cradle or something.
Yeah, no,
it was
you're
like,
right. It looked like Rehoboam.
Okay, yeah, it was kind of weird. So I don't know.
I got you.
And I'm still not convinced that vision we saw was not from the future, and that they're not. That I think, can Maeve do the same thing? I'm still, even though there was this lighthouse event, I'm still. I don't know.
Here you go.
I'm sorry. I'm just.
Look on the screen now. And
I
it's-
just have one thing to say just about
Oh,
what
yeah, go
Corey's
ahead.
saying. Okay, the parks are not historically accurate, just so you know. Just because they are based on a time period doesn't mean that they're historically accurate. So really, it's about the guest's experience. It has,
the perception of that time.
it's the perception of the time. Like the costumes are not, like for instance, are not historically accurate completely. It's what they think would be great in the park. So it's all about the guest's experience. So just to say that. So in terms of if you go into
What about them weren't historically accurate? I mean, I believe you, but like, what exactly?
You mean costume-wise? Or?
Yeah, like what?
They're not completely historically accurate. The costume designers have said that.
What about them though? Is what I'm asking. What about them?
What do you mean? What about?
What
them?
about them isn't historically accurate? The flag.
I'm just saying. Oh, just silhouettes. Like just it's clothes. It's just not. It's kind of like what would people think Westworld park would be, as opposed to like they're going after some of the tropes of what people think people would dress like in that time period, as opposed to what actually people would have dressed like in that time.
Oh, I thought they were bringing it up. Yeah, I get what you mean.
I'm just saying that in terms of, because it's like a show. A park would have a designer, right? So for instance, I know the guy who did the Star Wars park and who did the costumes for the Star Wars park. And so it would be like, it's not going to be like the Star Wars film. It's going to be the experience of the attendees of the park.
They can't even get the film right. That's not even real history. I mean, that seems unreasonable, to be honest with you. Like, but no, I would be interested from this person that I'm got to get in the chat to see what they pick. I think that's interesting. They picked up on that.
So if I'm a female guest and I go into a brothel, I would expect there to be male prostitutes.
I get that.
Or
but
if I was a gay or a lesbian, I would expect there to be a same-sex prostitute.
They showed that in Westworld.
Yeah, Logan
I'm sure they
went
did.
nuts.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
I was just
Multiple
speaking,
occasions.
I was just speaking to the experience of what was going on with Caleb. That was all.
Definitely.
That's all I was talking about.
Yeah.
I think
I
there
agree.
was
I
a
agree.
pearl of Logan still exists.
You're right.
And he's just boning everybody. Like
I'm just saying this from
Yeah.
the point of view of a female viewer. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
And
get it.
Lisa
No, I
Joy,
think that's
I
a
mean-
good thing to say.
There must be a reason why they did it, like because Lisa Joy obviously, is one of the showrunners. So if it was D&D, I'd be
Yeah, that's
like,
what I was
another
talking
Clueless.
about.
She subcontracted it out. She's like, D&D, you guys did a great job. Here you go. No, but you're right. Like the West, it's all syphilis and death, right? Like, so it's like, like you don't make that. I get what they're saying. I was just generally interested because I've been editing your videos. Like, what about these? Because the costumes, I don't know. I don't know anything other than what I watched in Boardwalk Empire.
I
You would think
did the-
Zoot suits and flapper
It was a
dresses
while
would
ago.
be
So
the
I just
standard,
remember
right?
that the costume designers said that it wasn't completely, they weren't aiming for historical accuracy because the idea is that it's based on a park, which is the, so if you go to a Disney park or, something like that, it's not going to be exactly like Walt Disney. It's like, it's going to be sort of an impression, I think, as opposed to an actual,
like Vikings, how they make it.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
The parks, I think they should be able to do, Heidi. Like, those are films they made. Like, what
Now,
the hell?
that being said, Maeve's outfit was actually pretty good. I thought it was pretty great. Yeah.
But yeah, they did. I like Caleb's hair too.
It's funny you should say that, because I was thinking that. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but his hair is different this season, and I'm wondering if they grew it out in that way, thinking that they were going to be going into a Roaring 20s Chicago gangster style theme park, because his hair is perfect, right?
Yeah, I'm just jealous.
He doesn't have the Peaky Blinders thing where it's shaved up the back.
That's more of a hipster thing. Like
that's but I thought it was pretty great.
No, that is interesting. Well, I do want to see, because I still think that every time we do a new park, I love when you do a video on it. So I'm sorry for pushing. I want it. I want it.
I have an idea, but I have to talk to you about it.
Absolutely. Okay, so we on here, Axel, we got your thing that you were talking about. This looks like it was from Star Wars. Star Wars probably couldn't replicate it, because they're like, no, how would we do that? I'm like, you made it. What do you mean, how would you do that? And I'm going after them. But Axel, do you see it on screen? Is that what you're talking about?
That's the tower. Oh, well, that's the actual. Well, that's another thing to talk about, is the fact that he actually walks into the tower that everybody is talking about. That's the tower. What I was talking about is there's a quick flash. I'll fast forward. I'll get some pics. I'll probably put it on our Facebook or something. We'll talk about it. I'll send it to you, Jesse. I think it seemed like a room.
Look at that horse just chilling there with him in the meeting.
It was like red things on either side, and it just seemed interesting to me, because I think that whatever we're seeing him go through on this, he's going to somehow, it's going to happen. That's what he was seeing.
I like too how Akicheta, because he worked for the company beforehand, so he's kind of like they've kind of revamped his roles.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Logan.
Is this
TJ Maxx there?
It was very cool.
Exactly. He actually he was in that one scene. I don't know. I guess it was season 2, maybe, where they're trying to sell the park idea, and
yes,
then, and he is there, and I think he was dressed very dapperly and had his hair pulled back like that. So
there's a horse here. What do you guys think?
Is dapperly a word?
Yeah, it could be. It is now.
A white horse, right?
It's a white horse. Yeah, Texan. You ride a horse every day. What is this?
Yeah, I ride one to work actually. It's hell in this heat.
Yeah, it works in Lexus.
I don't know.
Does anyone ever ask if you know Owen Wilson, since you're from Texas? Is that a thing that people do?
I gotta be honest with you. I didn't know Owen Wilson lived in Texas until
I don't know
recently.
if he lives there, but I know he's from there.
Yeah, I didn't know he was from there until recently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He doesn't sound like from Texas, but I guess
How about his brother? Accents. You would think Luke would got all the work, right? Like he's very, and then Owen's like just looks like somebody beat him up every day. Like, and then he got the yeah. They're like, hey, we want you.
I have to give it to him. He could have had his nose fixed, and he didn't.
That's what I'm saying. He's unique, man.
Yeah.
It's symbolic to him. It's his brand, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
Him and Barenthal just busted noses. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this because this?
So
is
it the horse left over from Game of Thrones?
Yes. Oh, it's Arya's horse. Remember the pale? Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing, John. I thought the exact, and the wolf was back. The wolf was back too.
That's what I think. It's like his spirit guide. It's like his guide. I think it's a callback to Westworld. There was someone said, Justin, it may have been you, when we were doing the season preview, that tree going up in flames, that was like Dolores's tree. That's Dolores dying.
Yeah,
that's
a
like
tree that she painted every when she.
Ah, yes. So
kind of like her, I guess, burning up in there.
He's seen the death of the because she is the mother of the host, so he's seen the death of the species. So this is it's Westworld. It has the symbolism in it, but it is. I thought that was very. I want to know what though, Axel. I was very surprised the context in which we got it in.
What do you mean?
Because it came from Bernard looking at it, so I get. Like I'm going.
That's
with
interesting.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it still jives what I was saying, but I thought we would have got Christine or somebody looking at it, like to give more of the connection. So I mean that is a pointer that I'm off on that, but that was the trait that she literally went and painted that tree. Christina's look in the Christina Swirl.
Yeah.
Look at the videos that I've done on it. It's it's a cited inspiration, but let's oh man, this horse, he is just. I think this horse is just hungry. He's like, give me a carrot. He's like, I don't know how this works in here. I don't know where I would go to. Is there a Harris Teeter? You know, he's trying to figure it out. But so.
Oh, I miss
Is there a
Harris
cross somewhere?
Teeter.
I go to Harris Teeter all the time. It's very.
What is Harris Teeter? It's like a,
Whose horse was that
Grocery
though?
store.
It was someone's horse, wasn't it? Was it Dolores's horse?
I thought it was.
I think it was
Acachetta's.
Acachetta's, yeah.
Akachetta's horse?
He went
Yeah.
to the graveyard at
Yep.
the church,
He stole
Oh.
that
and they
horse.
found the maze.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Yeah.
It was in a couple scenes.
It's not where. That,
And Dolores had a white horse too, didn't she?
I thought she did.
Probably.
I think it could be multi-representational. He was in this world, and Akacheta said to him, "You created this world." So it's interesting. The things we see are things that Bernard would think are important, you know, or something that I guess that he would want to guide him, and that to him is like his creator in a sense, Dolores, right? She kind of created him.
But isn't that structure also in the real world? Like where
Yes,
Dolores
yeah.
is- yeah.
But I think
The
that
lights are
points,
that way.
yeah, I think that points to his precognition.
You notice how all the
As
children
well.
are dead in the real world? Look at this.
Yeah, I think this is after. I would be interested. That's what I think is fun. Is if this is after, do we get to see a park fall again? Like, do we get, you know what I mean? That'd be kind of fun. Like, what are we? What are when? That's why I hope the next episode, which I had heard, I know spoilers, but I just had heard it is like game changer, big episode where we're gonna get reveals. Hopefully, I hope we do, because if we are dealing with these different timelines, it's fun to be able to play around with them and for us to be involved with that in a way and be able to at least get more clues to know that it is what we're watching. I just think about I'm actually right now rewatching Dark,
So
which is
good.
one of the greatest TV shows ever made.
The best
Agreed.
time
Hopefully
travel
everyone's
story
seen it.
ever made, and it's made
Ever.
by
Yes.
accident. They mixed
And-
two stories because they got a deal, and they
And
just nailed it.
It's so amazing. But watching that again is so much more fun because of that. It just adds to it, the rewatch, so much. You're like, Jonas, oh shit, you know?
You're picking up on things you didn't pick up on before.
Yes,
and it's fun.
yeah.
Let's
Yep.
Right.
before I want to say hi to everybody in the chat, and we'll take any questions from them. But let's talk about these creep hosts that are back. These drone hosts that are just doing
Love
creep
'em.
stuff. Like
Yeah.
they look on like Craigslist, and they're like, where's a dirtbag get a job, right? Like
Right.
these bastards.
Those are Fiverr.
AU was
from
just saying in the
Fiverr.
chat that also Clementine was riding a white horse.
I think everybody's got a white horse.
And I
don't
also
think there's anything
thought-
but white horses.
And wasn't what's his, not William, but the other one, the dark-haired one, wasn't he left naked on a white horse?
yeah, he had
Yeah.
he had the raw ride that thing.
Because William originally had a white horse, and then he took the black horse.
And then he put what's his name on the
Logan.
horse?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Logan, yeah.
He smacked its butt and said,
So I
"Yeah,
have to go back, and then the wolf. I was always like, what's with the wolf?
predator."
I think it's the same thing. It's like a guide, a spirit, and I think it could represent life or death. Somebody said in the chat, what is it? Enlightenment. White horses can represent spiritual enlightenment. Yeah, things
Daenerys,
of
I
that
was just
nature.
doing a Daenerys video, and she had a white horse as well, which perished. You know,
Daenerys Targaryen.
yeah, she had a white horse that was given to her by Khal Drogo
Drogo.
as a wedding gift.
She got a black horse eventually too, didn't she?
Yeah,
A dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but her horse died in the desert,
Oh.
in the Red Waste.
Wait,
that was her wedding gift.
are you
yeah.
telling me she went to the desert with a horse with no name?
She might have named him.
Yeah,
She
she called
names
him.
everything after her brother, her dead brother.
She named him
So it's
Thirsty. She named him Thirsty.
Come on, I had to
Thirsty.
do it.
Yeah.
I had to do it before Justin did it.
Yeah. She.
That's a great song, though.
Thirsty.
Yeah.
He goes, "Here's a
Alicia
horse.
will know
There's
that
no
song.
food. Have fun."
All right. Do we
Yeah.
have any questions from the
Yeah,
chat?
let's go to the chat. Let's go. No, that's a fun gift though. It's like, here's a puppy. There's no food. Goodbye.
We got
Real
25
quick,
peeps.
can-
What do they got to say?
So they got blindfolded before Bernard went to wherever
Yeah.
they went.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know where they're at. That could tell us.
They're right
Oh,
behind
I
the
got-
diner, about 3 blocks.
They're
Yeah,
bugs.
right.
I think
Yeah,
they're at
so
the
they're-
park. I think
But
they're
I mean-
at the new park.
How do you
I
come
think
to that
they're.
conclusion?
It's like a
AU?
It looked like the
wasteland.
park, didn't it? I thought the
I
same
think that's
thing.
where they are. Not
Yeah, when the
Westworld,
train-
but the new park.
Yeah, when the train
Yeah.
goes
The
through, it
20s?
was like kind of like
Yep.
scrubland,
But-
right?
Yeah, it's
They're
like,
they're at the park in the future. The park
Yeah,
it's
look at the train
post-apocalyptic. Whatever that
Okay.
device is that Bernard wants them to get this weapon,
right.
it's at the park.
Okay,
So
it's-
they have
it's
to
in
go
the
back
future.
to it.
It's,
Yes.
it's in the future of the
Yep.
park. Okay, that
That
makes
yeah,
sense.
that's very cool. I love it.
Okay,
You
they
guys are
buried
so
it.
smart. You come up with such great
Well,
ideas.
Heidi, to fix the
Oh,
past,
so
you
do you.
need to go into the future during the present.
Right, of course.
Okay.
By the way, Daenerys Targaryen's horse's name is Silver, according to Alicia. Thanks.
Oh,
Alicia.
Silver. Okay.
Why
Why
Hio
would you name a
Silver.
white
Is she
horse Silver?
colorblind? Yeah, she's colorblind like me.
Yeah.
AU, did you use
Well,
kidnapping
in the book,
techniques to
George,
reveal
it
the
was-
turn
George
when
had
you
it
were
silver.
blindfolded?
Oh,
How
okay,
did you
that's fine.
figure 3 blocks? That's what you're supposed to
Oh,
do.
I'm just kidding. It was like 3
Oh.
seconds. Of
I
a
thought maybe
ride.
you had an experience. I thought that would have been fun to exploit, like Maury or something. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, you got kidnapped. Tell me about
They
it.
didn't
Come
stop
on.
for gas, so it couldn't have been too far.
Yeah, exactly. Like Dateline. No,
Right.
telling me more. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had that
um,
Mad Max car though, so they can go 1,000 miles on one tank of fuel.
One
Oh,
thing
yeah.
I was going to say we haven't talked about is the scene with Caleb's wife and daughter. I have to say I found that so tense. Like as soon as they would leave that scene, I'd be like, oh, thank God. Like it felt so tense. They did a really good job on that, I thought.
When Carver comes back in to the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 You brought up a good point about Carver, AU, before the stream started. About why
What did
they,
you say?
I'm forgetting. That's why I'm asking him. It was about.
Oh, what
Yeah.
the hell were you talking about? Is that what you mean?
It was with
Him killing the original?
He
Yeah,
brought up.
he's a
It was with the
host.
flies.
Oh. Why didn't they use the flies stuff on Carver instead of building a host? That, I mean, it would have been so much easier than.
Maybe it doesn't last long.
You know
right?
what?
The
I
flies
think-
don't last long.
I that's great
didn't
point.
know.
That's what I was going to say is because if you think about all the scenes with the flies, and Charlora said, I want to use what's her name, the senator's wife, as an we need to experiment on her.
Anastasia. Her name was Anastasia.
Anastasia. And then remember how the guy at the Hoover Dam, he was a little bit better than Anastasia, but he was still a little jumpy,
Right.
maybe they haven't perfected it. That's why I think that the park, in the same way the first park was getting all this information for the Immortality Project and other things, they're working the kinks out of the fly shit with people at the park. Like, I think they're pulling people and kind of working on it.
Right, like guinea pigs.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
three
That's
people that killed
interesting.
themselves
It's
before
an
they killed
experiment.
Frankie,
Yeah.
I think they were actually were human, and then Frankie was a host, obviously, with the robotic face thing. Right?
That's-
So the other people were real.
Yeah.
That's their laboratory.
Yeah.
They show them.
I
yeah.
agreed.
They show
Yeah.
Frankie like running at the same time they do the cut.
Hey,
I did think when I saw her there, I thought, okay, I thought, okay, it's possible that scene was happening at a different time, but how would they have gotten her so quickly to the park? So I did sort of pause to think,
Yeah.
is that actually her? Because we didn't see, they kind of teased us to think maybe
They did that
Yeah.
in season 1 with William. Where
Yeah.
Dolores
Yeah.
runs back to William.
Yep.
So, like,
For sure.
You're right.
they're motherfuckers. Those
Yeah.
people.
Let's get back to. Let's say thank you to Maura.
Can I?
Sorry, John.
Hold
Oh,
on.
go
hi,
ahead.
Justin.
Yeah, we got a
Justin.
super chat from Maura Lee, and
Yeah.
thank you so much for supporting.
Thank you.
Super generous.
Can I throw something out here, folks? What is the significance, or I'll say, I think I understand the significance of his daughter bot being an old-fashioned host without the
Yeah.
human flesh. She's a clockwork host, right? Like we saw the original hosts were.
So I got you on this.
Because she said something about this in that stinger when William said, like, why didn't you fix yourself? And she said, like, I did it to keep it. And then she said something else about when we were original before this flesh and
keeping her identity. She doesn't need to be more like human. So there's a narrative about this. So
she's like that now. Chaloris is that kind of host, I think.
Okay,
she's
Frankie, what you're talking about though with her, I believe they did that to better showcase that she was a host because of the visuals, right? So it makes sense.
I agree with you, but I think story-wise, it makes sense that the newer host that Chaloris is making, that she wants to kind of like live freely or whatever, would be
pure in her sense. Yeah, absolutely.
They're old school clockwork hosts.
That's 3 times in 3 episodes we've agreed. Ding, ding, ding. Yep. We got it right now, baby. We got it. Yeah, I like it.
But I thought that was cool because it also goes back to what was it? Wasn't there didn't Bernard have a vision that happened to his son or something? Or what was that we saw? When we saw the face, the little kid?
Yeah, season 1, where he was on the
screen. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
he's always
and it was Ford's little guy too. Yeah, yep.
But I do like that because there is a narrative of them, because Chaloris is trying to do the opposite of what the overarching theme is of people just being kind to things that can feel things and stuff. So they're being very Zionist. It's a Zionist approach, right? I think I'm using that right.
I don't know if that. I mean, I know what Zionism is, but I don't know if it has a larger connotation other than.
Well, they want to keep with their own.
The chosen people.
Yeah, they think they're the chosen people. So yeah, I'm just saying. I used it right. It's good.
I think maybe they use the old school host because where are they going to hide flies at on the new kind? Right? There's no like hidden compartment on them. Oh. That one opens up and they're inside. Opens up.
It's like a Trojan horse.
Yeah, it's just a container. Yeah. It's a container for the flies. I agree. That's why I think they use that.
Nice. Millwright coming in with it. Pragmatic approach. Hey, where are we going to keep the killer flies at in this biological being?
Yeah.
Shirt pocket.
I'm just imagining what it must be like at Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan's house.
That hobo that she's married to?
They're, he plays, apparently he's a big, it's funny that you were saying video games, Justin, because apparently he's a really huge video game fan. And so I just imagining the two of them sitting there playing video games and smoking some weed and then coming up with some ideas.
Sounds good.
For the show.
I like
Watching
it.
The Dark Knight and talking crap about it. They're like, it's not even that good, man. My brother's all right.
It would suck to be Christopher. Have Christopher.
Did you see
Nolan
Person of Interest?
He sounds smarter because of the British accent, but I was born in Pittsburgh, and it's just like, he's from Chicago too, Like, it's like, whatever.
Yeah, are they different parents?
Right?
No, they just grew up differently.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that it's sort of like it's like the what's that show where they're split up and they raised in different countries?
I don't know what that show is.
Perfect Strangers?
No, sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. In the chat,
Alicia will know.
I just wanted to say, Corey said in the chat, I feel like the bad knockoffs are on purpose by the writers, so this place seems even more subpar than Westworld. I think it's multi-leveled. I agree with that, but I also think it's that Chaloris herself is like, fuck these humans. I'm just going to use the same shit. They don't, right? Like, she's like, I'm not even going to put even more energy into this.
Like, why even organize the
she's just like, they'll take anything. They'll give them their bread in circuses.
Maeve made a comment at the beginning when they walked into the park that they spare no expense. Like, because he was wow, this looks amazing.
But then it wasn't really, though.
No, I think she was basing that opinion on other, on her own experience, right?
Because if that is...
Where they kind of cared.
Well, who said that in the chat? Carol, you said?
Corey.
If you're not right, then that casting director should be fired.
Mm-hmm.
If they thought it
was definitely purpose.
Honestly, I'd be like, no, done. Never again will you be a part of this. Like,
that'd
be crazy.
Were there any other cameo? I was trying to look at other hosts or people or so. I didn't see any other kind of old callbacks or cameos. Were there?
the droid I got on screen. The weird
The
one.
droid.
Yeah,
The
that
white
gimp,
droid.
The gimp. Yeah, that's the same guy.
I love those things.
Alicia, it's the Parent Trap. That's what I was trying to think of.
Oh, the Parent Trap.
You know, where
Okay,
they have
yes,
the two daughters were sent to different like Haley Mills, and
I remember that.
So
I
one's
totally
in England
did.
and one's in America.
Imagine if Lindsay Lohan trapped you now. It's a whole different situation.
Oh wow, yeah, you'd be.
I've seen both. They're both really good.
Ah,
I like both of them.
I like it. Oh, you know what? I'm down, Lindsay. I'm down. Let's see.
What else?
I didn't see
what
any
else we
hosts
got?
that were similar, that were
No.
the same as last year.
No.
Guys, I'm
looking for
thinking
some
there's
more
a guy in the
callbacks.
beginning, and it's just like one of these.
Oh,
little,
Walt.
Like, Easter
Yeah,
eggs.
Walt, the guy with the milk.
Oh yeah, and what about the
Caleb.
vagrant guy? The one who
That's
was
what
like,
I'm trying to find. You said
Okay.
vagrant. I've said hobo on the show before.
Hobo,
I'm gonna keep
yeah,
going with
hobo.
hobo, even though it's not the right term, but I messed up.
guy
No,
that's in
hobo's
bird-
different. Hobos travel by
bird
train, I
finger.
believe.
You're not supposed to say hobo, but
Well,
I
he's
remember
a
I said
drunk.
it in the pre-show.
he's drunk in a ditch in the in the alley.
He's
Oh.
getting his wallet stolen. Yeah, it's just as when they enter
Here, it's right. He's crawling
by
on
two
there.
little kids,
No, they're just little scamps. They're little rapscallions.
scallywags,
No, a rapscallion and a scamp.
rapscallions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
that's
better.
true.
A scallywag would be more like pirate talk.
That's true.
The other thing
Right.
I wanted to say is that the second level, the second level game that they did, the Easter egg, that's pretty like disturbing that they did that. I mean, I guess it's the hosts that are doing it, so it sort of but the fact that the guests were sort of like finding that really
So
cool.
into recreating a massacre.
I
Yeah,
mean, did
Didn't they
not
make
know-
Nazi World last
Did
season?
it not make the news that this happened, or did they keep it sort of hidden?
Yeah, how is Delos still afloat? That is not the first time it's happened. The Jeff Bezos of that company, Man in Black, was on the fucking island the second time. The whole time, they're like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Oh, he's just like going nuts over there."
Well, he
killing his
got like
daughter."
he's killing everybody
Yeah, he killed his
in order
daughter.
to get his park reopened or what have you.
Yeah, he's killing his daughter so you can get the park reopened. I'm like, oh, thank God, I'll keep my stocks.
Dear Bill, I'm really sorry that you had to murder your daughter
On
and that I
Father's
couldn't
Day.
attend your funeral.
Oh, I'm father. Yeah, but want to know what?
all right.
Hold on, he's about to be right here. Man, he just keeps eluding me. Want to know what? This is a societal take about how we ignore those in need. All right.
So it's a
Honestly,
vagrant getting his wallet stolen. I
It's a
wouldn't think
hobo.
a vagrant.
We're saying
I wouldn't think a
hobo.
hobo would have a wallet, right?
No,
mean,
I know,
Really
it's
has,
not-
I want
nothing.
somebody to make a video or like just maybe like, some pictures of Caleb always reacting. Because you ever notice that Caleb's always going,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
a
God,
lot
you're
of-
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's always like, oh my God.
magnets.
He was the same way in Breaking Bad. Yeah, exactly.
Yep, exactly. I was looking on a little bit on the old Facebooka and the Twitter, what people are saying about this episode, and I think the 3 time period thing is like everyone is jumping aboard that. Christina is in one, Charlotte, Maeve, and Caleb in another, Bernard and Stubbs, and this character named C, which everyone also does think is Caleb's daughter. So I think a lot of people are thinking the same thing, which is good. I think that's fun.
Isn't Christina just in a loop? She's not even in the real world.
Well, they're all in a loop, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so right. I'm going through this. Everybody look at the screen. Heidi's so right about Caleb. Every single scene is just coverage of him reacting. They're like, what did he's like, what do you see? They're like, you saw a spooky ghost. He's like, ooh. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
literally nothing but that. You're right. I did find it though.
I mean, it's like I love him. I think he's a really, we really root for him. And I mean, the one
He's
thing
from
too,
Idaho. Don't pick on him.
and the one thing that, like, if anybody thought he was a host, it's been proven that he's not a host. That's the other thing. I
But
don't know if you
Heidi,
guys-
Yes.
technically,
Yeah.
Good.
No,
Thank you. No,
really.
Heidi, that's a great point because I did say that. I thought it was a possibility.
Well,
I mean,
everybody,
hey,
I'm
this
sure
is
thought it was a
Westworld. Yeah.
possibility. Yeah.
You're right. Good
So the
call
fact
on that.
he wasn't killed, like that was.
What do you
she
think-
was shot.
Why do you all think, or Heidi, what do you think? Why do you think he's so important? Because in the end, his daughter said, like, the point was to get you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea.
Why was he's so important? Again, he's like this.
Subservient, like you don't need to sell me on Caleb being my partner. Like, he does everything you ask of him. There's the man down on his luck on the screen. as
Yeah,
well.
who's
He's
Maybe
John
it's
Connor.
Yeah.
That's why.
John
He's
Connor.
the everyman, I think, maybe.
I hope
Or
It's
maybe
gotta-
John Connor. Like maybe he
Yeah.
did something in the future, and
That's
then
a
we just
great.
stop him.
I like that. I like that. That's very good. Yeah, he's because there's got to be. I mean, because I think we're also seeing that a lot of the shit that Dolores said last season was just not true. She said a lot of bullshit.
you're
Well, I
right.
think
You know?
she
I love
is an
you, Axel.
unreliable narrator. I think.
Yeah,
In many ways.
she said a lot of bullshit last season, and the whole stuff like we talked about last week, like Bernard was going to be her foil
Yeah.
that kept her in check. He didn't do shit.
No, he
What was
left-
she talking about?
No, here's the thing: the unreliable narrator was the actual narrator. Actually, like of the
Yeah.
story, it was bad. Like season 3 sucked. That it didn't make a lot of sense in the end. But this is, I like this. I bet this is when you look up this actor, because there's no way they're not recasting people, right? That to be a part of this, like if they were just a background actor, even that. So I think that's cool that they're doing. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but I would assume that this is probably somebody. I bet everybody in the background is somebody that's probably, for the most part, was involved in the project. But he's just a sleepy guy. He's got a
I
hat
was
like
thinking it'd be
mine.
really meta. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard that they're planning on making a Squid Game, like a real Squid Game.
Yeah, Netflix
like-
is making a show. Yeah.
Netflix is making a Squid Game show. I'm assuming it's not to the death, but wouldn't it be really meta if they made a Westworld park where you could go and and act out like parts of the show? Like it would just be so weird and meta.
I'll be the gold prospector.
Yeah. They will.
And
They
they
will.
wouldn't even just have Walmart, characters. They'd probably have like it'd be even worse. It'd be
Yeah.
like Value Village, Dolores,
Dollar Tree.
Hey, but let's be fair.
$1.25 tree now.
Yeah, but what movie star
is.
Ugly is still pretty gosh darn good looking. So I'm still in. I'm still in all the way. Yeah.
Well, I told you guys last time, and I'm starting to think this is more true, that I saw this, the cast read theories from the show.
Yeah.
And Evan Rachel Wood said that she thinks that everything has been happening in the park. And that would be very cool, actually. Just the whole thing is just the whole time has been happening in the park.
You Dallas.
Oh,
it
yeah.
again. That's
I
true.
like
No, I
that.
know.
Heidi, what is this tie? We're about to end it, but like this is like that. I had to wear one of these for a play. It's
Four in
like-
hand tie
Oh, okay. What is it
that
called?
Cantaloupe's
again?
wearing.
No, it's the street man. It's like this.
I can't see it.
The hobo.
Oh, I can't see it.
yeah, look
Am I
on
not?
the-
Here, let me refresh.
It's almost just like a bolo.
Oh, sorry. It's showing me an ad.
I
Oh,
like even though like
Yeah.
how he's wearing that, even though like he has nothing,
Yeah.
he's still wearing that.
yeah. It's basically just a tie that he's done in a square knot.
All right. Well, you have to teach me that out there. All right. So
But I do really like it a lot.
I like the
All
percep.
right.
I love those old time though. Like everybody tried to wear the best no matter what. I love that time. I just love the sentiment.
Me
of it.
too.
Yeah. All right. I love everybody for coming on. Final thoughts.
Yeah.
I like the episode. It was a lot of fun. I think the flies are a heck of a lot of fun with all their killing. But no, I think that it was fun that we got to go back to the park, and that's the show has another season left, and stuff like this is pivotal to happen, even though it's kind of like rinse and repeat. But there's a meaning for it because they've flipped the switch. It is what
Yep.
it is.
I actually have to say, I think this is probably my favorite episode of the season so far.
Yeah, I
Even
agree.
though
Okay.
even though Christina wasn't in it, which is odd, but it was so like there was just so much excitement and tension going on in this episode for me.
Well, Christina's story's kind of boring right now to me.
It's a little bit boring.
So I'm
Agreed.
kind of
She's
kind
got
of
pull,
relieved
though.
that I have to watch it.
He can feel what he wants to feel, Justin.
It was boring.
If Tim,
She walked
Tim
around
feels
confused.
it's boring.
She went to New Jersey. What could be more exciting than that?
I don't know. The
oh.
free health clinics, like I said, are notorious in New Jersey.
I
Yeah.
love
Open your toe,
I love
perhaps?
New Jersey.
Go get a hepatitis test.
I
New
thought it
Jersey.
was a very good episode. It was a good mix of action and info.
Yes.
A little less on the info stuff because Christina wasn't in it, but I think it was also prepping us for those reveals next week, which I hope we get. I hope we got to get like boom, 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 see really what's happening, what's going on. And I was happy to see Bernard back. And thank you everyone for coming to the chat and taking and listening and downloading and all that shit.
The other thing I want
Speaking
to
of the
say,
chat, Jen Sinet said that the
Oh.
flies were printed in the intro,
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they'd have to. Be
That's
some
why I
sort
thought
of
they were
nano-
But they were growing
Yeah.
them from
Yeah.
maggots, though.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen
that is,
Yeah, they were.
confusing.
That's why I think it's the organic. Like it's to get to the humans, you got to make the organic, just like they use a program for the host, right? Like
It's the honey and the gods are made
Yeah,
of the
it's
honey
flipping
and
it.
milk.
So maybe
like
they
Costanza
tried-
said, do the opposite.
And they are attracted to humans, like automatically, like they
Yeah.
are drawn.
Yep.
Like
yes.
it's in
Good
their
point.
programming
The
or what have you,
parasites.
like parasites.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, what the hell's going on behind me?
Yeah, how is it so light out where you're at? How many rotations
Because it's
has
the
your
West
Earth
Coast
had?
and we're north.
It was
I don't
like
want
this
to hear
last
about
week.
time zones, AU. That makes too much sense. I have a better theory that
It's
he's on a different planet.
time
I wish I could sit
continuum.
outside to do this. I would die in the Texas heat.
Yeah.
It says
Oh.
it's 106 degrees outside.
He's not
today.
outside. He's in his garage.
But listen,
Well, I mean, it's outside in Texas,
somebody
sure.
is like, it sounds like Texas out here. Oh, they just turned that truck off. They're like revving their motor. It's like, look, my car works.
Well,
Okay,
what
thank
else
you.
you get in a truck for unless you're gonna drive it like a truck?
Axel, you have a lot
Right.
of chairs in your garage. What's going on there? Is
He's
that what you guys?
Oh,
hang
my
out?
garage is a living room.
Oh, is
made,
it?
yeah. My
It's like
son
a
and
man-
I,
a
we,
man
I,
room?
I hang out. Well, I mean, it's the kid for. I do have a lot of Lego in here. I build Lego.
Where does
That's
the
very
car
cool.
sit?
There's
The
no.
driveway
You
works
don't
supposed
need
to.
a driveway. You don't need a car garage out here.
What do you
I
guys-
chill in the garage all day. I was here all day hanging out, watching TV. See, look, I got a TV
Oh my
over here,
gosh! Wow,
and
Yeah.
then I got a couch over here.
that's quite the setup.
Meanwhile, in North
kidding me?
Carolina, my house is flooding of black
Chilling.
mold. Yeah, yeah. But you're living off hopes and dreams on the West Coast.
I just
man.
hang out
If
in the
you need a place
garage
to
all
crash,
day.
Justin, you're-
I was
you're always
watching
welcome.
Formula One today.
Well, that's very Texas of you.
Hey. Not everyone
Formula
wants
One's
racing,
not-
right?
There's
Yeah.
no
NASCAR
Formula
for
One
Texas,
racing.
but-
Yeah, that's NASCAR. They go around in a circle. In Formula One, they go both ways.
Well, broom, broom. Either way, good for you guys. I like it a lot. It's a lot of fun.
No pun intended, right, Billy?
Yeah, but nay, I took my dad to a NASCAR race. And it was a hell of a lot of fun, actually. So yeah, I like this episode. It is the best episode. I don't know that's the high water mark so far, but I think that they couldn't have had Christina in this because they could not withhold anymore having her in an episode.
Agreed,
Yeah.
Justin.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got to tell us next episode
You
what's
got,
going
if you
on.
show her, you better be telling us something.
Don't you think
I
at
just want to
this
see
point?
Angela Seraphin.
What's that?
Yeah, Clementine. That's.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
forget
Oh
everything
yeah,
else.
yeah. Where's she at right now?
Yeah, bring her back.
Probably working.
Clementine was
That's
with.
awesome.
She works for William,
She's working
Yeah,
for
she's
William
working
and
with- she's working with
Chaloris.
William.
so she had to been there because
They're
there's
up
like
to.
200 Williams, where they were. So there's got to be a Clementine somewhere.
There's multiples, I'm sure.
Yeah.
She has to be
they're
at
in the
head
cloud.
office. She has to be on the golf course.
I'll take more Clementines over more Ed Harris's.
I know John
all
likes
day.
Clementine.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, she
Yeah,
is a
she's-
rare. Is she Armenian?
She's very exotic, beautiful.
Well, she has dark,
Right.
the dark circles.
she looks like my wife when my wife was younger. That's why
Oh, really? Oh, that's so
Yeah.
sweet.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Angela's about 2 foot taller. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
2 feet. That's a lot. That's a big difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. John, you must have loved it when she was like in South America there with the yellow.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Like a Clementine.
hmm
I was worried for her safety, though. We do bad stuff in South America.
Yeah.
Constantly.
And the Man in Black shows up in South America in his Man in
Right.
Black outfit, which is
Yeah.
so weird. He
Yeah.
should have been wearing like, some kind of, Mexican
outfit.
outfit.
Well,
or
she's still
something.
weaving it on her loom from the Viking age or something. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, yeah, it's going to take, like, yeah, her grandchild will finish it. Yeah, it's one of those multi-generational dresses. You know what I mean? I got a shirt from my uncle from the Civil War. But, all right, yeah, no, thank you, guys. Let's check the chat. And, I want to thank AU for coming on. It's been a while. Tim, your introduction to the YouTube, you're from TikTok. It's kind of a lateral move. Neither's
thanks for having
great. Neither's great. Like,
Thank you,
Right.
Tim
Yeah.
and AU
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
enjoyed
then-
it.
and
Thanks.
Heidi and Justin thanks for doing the ones and the twos.
Yeah, thanks, man. No, I was hoping you would say something like that. Thank you. I do deserve that. No, I appreciate it.
You're doing a great job.
Heidi, thank
Yeah,
you.
baby.
Anybody else?
You are.
Please? No, I'm joking. No.
In the chat,
Kudos.
the chat says thank you.
Okay, I'll take it. All right, then. Then we've done it, people. We've done a successful show, and they let me successfully screen grab it as well. Gotcha, Westworld, you bastard writers. Gotcha. But make sure to subscribe, support creativity. Check out this out. If you guys don't want to like look at me the whole time, like there's a podcast version that's it's still got us in it. but it's different, and it'll be in the link below. Also, Heidi has a wonderful channel. I can speak for that. We have a Daenerys video coming out. We got Miss Maisel coming out. We got a whole bunch of cool things coming out. And Tim is actually featured in the outro of this. You can hear his smooth Matthew McConaughey. I drove a Lincoln.
Oh, is that you, Tim?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Sure is.
Oh, wow.
He says stuff like desert sun, ocean wind. Drove a Lincoln before, just abstract things.
Right.
Yeah, no. So, no. Thanks. It's good to be amongst friends. It's good to be able to goof around. I had a very stressful day, very little sleep. I apologize for the loopiness, but hey, it's all about the loops in the Westworld. I'm going to play that outro right now. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. Make sure to share the video, and we will see you again next week. Axel, like Axel said, he's got the inside scoop. It's supposed to be a real eye opener.
Barn burner.
Real barn burner. There you go. You're still live. You're still live. I forgot what hotkey it is. Hold on.
Yeah, you too, AK.
And come on. It's coming.
Now it's just awkward at this point.
It is.
Right?
Here, right.
What do I do with my hands?
Oh, anticipation. I built it. Suspense over shock.
I suppose.
Thanks for watching. And if you'd like to support creativity, please subscribe and like the video.
Don't. No. I talked over Tim's voice. Now you know. How dare you? How dare you do that to the fellow? You know what I mean?
I forgot.
You're like, hey, can I interrupt and interrupt this?